My dog is weird. Well, I was gonna say I forgot to record a short for tomorrow, but then I remembered tomorrow's short involves the new kits, so I can't record it till they actually release. Hi, welcome to the stream.
I gotta go. Someone's calling me.
Okay.
It's nice hearing you.
See you later.
Thank you.
I actually got some sleep. I was talking about it. I streamed at like 8:30 in the morning or something, and I ended up falling asleep at like 6:30 in the evening, and then slept until 9:30 when someone woke me up to come watch the dog, and I fell asleep on the couch right after 9:30 and slept until almost 4:30 in the morning. So then I decided to just stay up. And that may not have been the best idea, but I did it anyway. On stuff on Sims for a little bit after the stream, and then I did on my being a little bit of fan fiction, and I ended up but then I woke up and I went back to playing, and I had gotten to the point that I was very much tired of Daenerys and Fern living with Lavender. So I decided to go build their house. I go to do that. I was saying that I slept until like I went to sleep at 6:30 in the evening. Woke up and was woken up at 9:30. Come watch the dog. Is the stream working now? Before I say this all over again. But was woken up at 9:30 to come watch the dog and ended up falling asleep on the couch a few minutes later, probably around 10, and slept until almost 4:30 in the morning. So I just stayed up. And I streamed at I think about 8:30 in the morning for a little while. Are you out of water again? I gotta get the dog water. I think my controller should still be connected. I'm not that far from the PS4. But so I streamed for a little bit, and then I gave up when my stomach started bothering me again, and I just didn't feel like streaming anymore. Then a little bit more after the stream, took a break, left the game paused, but took a break to read for a little while. I was tired. Daenerys and Fern living with Lavender. So I went to build their house. When things originally first started going downhill a little bit, I went to click on save and go to manage worlds, and the game saved, but it kicked me out of the save, said there was an error, and then the update automatically started. So I closed Sims, I checked the size of the update. I said, okay, that is too big of an update for me to try to do it in my room where the PS4 is not plugged in with this crappy internet that we have. So I came in here, I told family member that I told them basically what happened, that the game kind of kicked me out because of the update. They said, okay, we'll go ahead and bring it in here and do the update, plug it in and do the update. Did that. Before I did that, though, figured out how to end up cleaning the PS4, and I realized why it was running so badly. So I may have solved some of the issue with Hurricane PlayStation, as we have named my PS4. Yeah, there were some dead bugs in there, and some fuzz. Since I did that, it has not been as loud as it was before. Which makes sense, because it had dead bugs and fuzz in it. I don't know how this thing is still working, but, you know, whatever, it's working. And I solved some of the issues. After that, I let it cool off for a little bit. But while after I finished the update, I let it cool off for a little bit. After, or during the update, though, we had let the dogs out, and they started barking. I was told to check it. Now keep in mind, I don't have the best eyesight, and I have kind of given up on glasses because they don't really help me very much. So I didn't see what they were barking at. Family member goes to the door. There's a pretty big snake in our front yard. After up and like comparing it, lovely, kicked me out of the party again. I'm not sure it's my internet that's the problem. I think PlayStation is having issues right now. It could be my internet. And it very much could be. Um, but the stream's still working, so we're okay. For now. How the heck is their relationship in the red? Okay, it wasn't actually in the red, it was just a little glitchy. I have an idea of how to get them away from Lavender. Because this is a problem. Lavender will not stay out of their conversations. And it keeps making their romantic interactions awkward to the point that it is literally gonna cost them their relationship. And because they're werewolves, I talked about this last time I streamed, but because they're werewolves, they are fated mates, meaning if they are not together, they'll get negative mood buffs from being with a sim that is not their fated mate once they've found their fated mate. It doesn't happen before they found them, but once they do, it happens. Yep, it apparently chat broke and I didn't notice. So yeah, and I think it seems to be like part of the problem is Lavender is a vampire and he doesn't really have to do a lot to keep up his needs. So he just constantly interrupts his daughter and son-in-law's conversations. And I think Lavender might have a thing for Fern. I mean, the plan is just for them to move out. I do have their house built now. But, so anyway, back to what I was saying. The, I let the PS4 cool off. And we did like as much research on Texas snakes, and based on what we could find, odds are the snake that family member saw was just a rat snake. So non-venomous, but the problem was I was told, like I said, I didn't see it, but I was told it was big enough that it could probably swallow the smaller dogs. So that is definitely a problem. But it wasn't in the fence with the dogs, it was outside the fence and going into the woods. And we haven't seen it since, so... My guess is either we're right and it is a rat snake, or it was someone's pet that got out, so it's not a snake native to Texas, which means we wouldn't be able to find it with the searches we were doing. You know, I've been trying not to do it, but if anybody has a problem with it, you can yell at me in chat, but I'm gonna cheat their needs. Then, let's see. I let the PS4 cool off for a little while. The update finished around noon. Or no, around 1. What I was told is the snake's belly was yellow and it was dark with patterns on it. Like either black with patterns or almost black with patterns. And like the two closest things we could find were a rat snake and a timber rattlesnake. And they didn't see a rattle on the snake, and they didn't hear anything as it was moving, and it seemed like not wide enough. I don't know, some of the pictures I saw do. I also thought it might have just been a garter snake, because I know they have yellow, but family members said that they didn't have yellow stripes on the sides or the back, and they were more patterned, more like a rat snake or a rattlesnake. So definitely not a garter snake. But like I said too, it could have been somebody's pet that got out. I don't know if any of our neighbors have snakes. But they were describing it as being big enough to eat our dogs, and our dogs may be a Chihuahua and a Chiweenie, but they are on the bigger side of that. So I didn't see it. A family member saw it. But them saying that it's big enough to eat an 18-pound Chiweenie? I would think it's probably not a rattlesnake. I don't know if we have rattlesnakes that big in this area. Definitely wasn't the copperhead that bit my dogs. That's for sure. I don't know. They said it was moving. Like, I know some rattlesnakes can get very large. I've seen some. But I don't think we have anything that would get that big in this area, like I said. And I have seen a very big rat snake that was at the house we moved from before coming here. It was before we moved the first time. And my husky kept going to the laundry room and no one could figure out why until they found a giant rat snake in the laundry room. But that one was a lighter color, more like a regular, just gray brown rat snake, I think. Oh no, they were trying to kill it through the fence. The little ones. Wednesday was hiding behind the little dogs. It probably would then. I'm pretty sure I've probably mentioned this on stream before. I have short, chubby fingers. Which is, usually how I end up misspelling stuff on Discord. Yeah, they would. They would. Especially Chihuahuas. And yeah, I did weigh the Chiweenie earlier, and she is 18 pounds. Is it in entertainment? Nope. Is it here? Nope. Oh, it is in social. Okay. And then practice acting. You didn't even post anything like I said you should. Nice. I still have not gotten one. I plan to. Like, if I'm able to in November, I will probably be getting a PS5 when I get my check. But it depends on if I'm able to find one, and also depends on how much the check is, because I need to pay a little extra on my credit cards to try to get the payments a little lower. They are so loud, and it's very annoying. He would be the only one left in our group that doesn't have one, wouldn't he? Yeah, I know Walmart has them sometimes, but like with holidays coming up and it being November, Walmart may not sell you one. Because they did that before they had them in stock, and a family member asked, and they said they would, but they weren't putting them out till the day after Thanksgiving. Even though they weren't going to be on sale on that day, that's just the day they chose to put them out. And I know, one of the places that we've paid stuff off at and paid payments on stuff, I want to say it was like, I think it was Rent-A-Center. The guys were asking if we needed anything specific, and I was saying maybe a PS5. They said they would find me one and then contact us, and I never heard anything from them. Which I could do something like that, because if you pay it off in 90 days, they don't charge any extra interest or anything. Stop just randomly talking to other people. You are at work, dude. Fern is upsetting me. That I have had my Sims working on every single holiday. Daenerys worked on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Now Fern is working on Valentine's Day. Would you just do the interactions I'm telling you to do, Fern? Please. Oh my gosh, Fern. Get away, weirdo! I'm about to start throwing people into the jungle. I've had it. Shouldn't have streamed Sims. But I couldn't update Fortnite on my PS4, so I would have had to switch out the PS4s, and I didn't want to. See, Fern? It was that easy. It was that easy. He may not even... He may not even finish the gig. He spent so long randomly talking to other people. That is gonna be a complicated thing with Sims. Fern, you just need to do one more thing. You just need to do one more thing to earn gold, and we're good. Okay. If you can get the other one done, good. If not, we still earned gold. This game is frustrating me. Okay, we're good. We did it. Fern is about to transform into a wolf, but we finished our acting gig. Werewolf actors was not a smart idea on my part. That's my bad. I should have thought this through. Okay, he did get a promotion. Can you do a street performance now? Still no. Okay, I think you need to be level 4 on the acting career to do that then. That or it's an acting skill thing, but I think it has to do with the career. Okay, go home, Fern. But yeah, then, so we were already stressed out about the snake, and the fact that we couldn't completely identify the snake, because like I said, I don't know what it looked like. I was going off of their description, and anything I found that looked somewhat similar, they said to their description, they would say no, it wasn't that. So I don't know. But we were already stressed out about that, and then after I let the PS4 cool down, I had watched a video talking about the update and the fact that they added some new colors to things. To a lot of things. What is that noise? Oh, it stopped. I heard a strange noise, but I'm not sure what it was, and it stopped now. Might have just been one of my cats. They're weird. Crowley keeps letting himself in the house. Like, anytime someone opens the door, he will run past us into the house, and the dogs aren't happy about it. Back to what I was saying. I started working on building their house. And I had a reference picture of a house that somebody used in one of their fan fiction stories, and I liked the house and I wanted to recreate it to the best I could in The Sims. And I did end up being able to do that for the most part, but I should see if Daenerys got her. Her cake. Okay, she did. And it is on Saturday. Develop fitness and guitar. She's already working on the fitness on her own, okay. But I had the picture of the house, I had a picture of a library, and a picture of oh, chat broke. I was like, what are you asking if I saw? But, I also had a picture of a kid's bedroom that I was trying to recreate. And, the kid's bedroom, it has like a round thing in the corner that it has 2 floors on it, and then the rest of the room is just 1 floor but taller. So I was trying to recreate that, but round walls in Sims are a freaking nightmare. I worked so hard just trying to get it to work. I couldn't place archways the way I wanted to on this set of walls. I couldn't make the front of it, the rounded part, the way I wanted to. I ended up having to use fence and spandrels instead. Which, I mean, it worked out fine, but I was having some glitching happening where one part of the room was rounded, but then it directly in front of that, it was placing stuff like there were curved walls there when there weren't any. So it was placing like the rounded fence up front and then curved wall fence. Or no, the rounded fence in the back and curved wall fence up front. And same with the spandrels, and it looked ridiculous. Room. It worked out because I did eventually get it to work. But I was about ready to give up after that, and I had already struggled because part of the front, there was supposed to be a like sunken driveway that led into, I'm guessing, a garage in the back. But it's Sims, you don't need a garage, there are no cars. But I did the driveway anyway, and I figured I'll use it for something else. But I spent a while working on that because using terrain tools to try to do it. I couldn't get the land even. And then building a room and lowering the platform of it was messing up the land around it, where I couldn't set the house right next to it like I was supposed to in the reference picture. Finally, I figured it out. Then I built a moat. I'm not sure why. I thought it would be funny to have like this fancy Hollywood modern mansion type thing with the moat. And then ended up deciding, you know what, maybe I don't want a moat here, because the next generation is probably gonna have a castle, and I'm probably gonna wanna put a moat on the castle. So I deleted the moat. Then most of the house is white, but part of it was like a wood frame around some windows, and I didn't like the wooden siding that I had used for it, because that was the closest thing I could get to the actual house that I was working from a picture of. So I didn't like that, so I got mad and I changed it, and now it's pink. So the house is mostly white with a little bit of pink. And I feel like it fits because a lot of stuff in Daenerys' room has a bit of pink on it. It's white with a little bit of pink, so it makes sense. And I know some people, when they do colored theme Sims challenges, they only do that one color. I feel like if my Sims lived in a house where everything was white with no other colors on it, I would go insane. And I mean, I don't mind white furniture. Even in real life, some of my stuff is white. But just all white with no other colors would, like I said, I would go insane. Okay, so I'm doing my best to try to fix their relationship again. But yeah, basically when I started, and here comes Lavender to get in the way again. Oh, they're not even gonna throw him out of the room. Is he just gonna stand there? This man has issues. Oh, they won't do anything because he won't leave the room. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna play after I end the stream, so I don't want her to get pregnant yet. Oh, he left. No, he didn't leave the room. He sat on the bed. Because even, if you don't have them take a pregnancy test, I think it gives them like an extra day of their pregnancy, so it'll be about 5 days. So, or I think it would be like 3 to 5. Usually. Most of the time my Sims will go like 4 days before they have their kid anymore. Okay, he is ready for his audition. But Daenerys has a gig today and needs to work on the guitar. But after the issue of trying to build the rounded 2-story room that kept breaking, I finally got that figured out, and it ended up being, I moved the bottom room, and then copied the top because the top was fixed. It was the way I wanted it. So I just copied the top and then placed the copy underneath, and it fixed the glitching issues that I was having. Then I had a little more issues with the library because the library I was building is like a similar thing. It's a really tall room with a lofted space. The tall room and the lofted space were easy because I wasn't using round rooms for that. But I was trying to place a ladder instead of stairs, and it kept placing the ladder all the way up to the roof instead of to the lofted space, so I gave up and just used stairs, even though I didn't want to. Okay, I can have Fern work on some painting, I guess. Wait, what's his points at? Oh, he has enough for it. Okay. Honestly, once they both get to the top of the acting career, I might have them switch jobs. Oh, okay, they did stop aging. I wasn't sure because like his still said 15 days till an adult, but it has not changed from that, and it's been like an in-game week since I finished their thing. Yeah, and hers still says 20 days. Okay, so immortal werewolves do not age. I was right about that. Why are you angry? Oh, fear of unfulfilled dreams. I also need to kind of decide what their kid's gonna do. I'm thinking based on like hints and stuff from the announcement. We got an announcement for the new reward system, which I did talk about on Discord, and it is basically a Sims battle pass. I know some people were like calling the last thing they did a battle pass, but I don't think a battle pass is typically like a login bonus. It's something you have to do challenges or something for, and that is what the new one is. But it seems to be they were hinting at a more Grim Reaper themed thing with that. So, yeah, the expansion pack coming out on October might be a Grim Reaper career. Like I said, I've heard potential Grim Reaper career, potential Psychic career. My theory was, since it is called Life and Death, we might, and I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about this, but I had the thought that maybe instead of it just being a career, they add like a Reaper occult and then maybe fairies at the same time, which would be fun. But I highly doubt that's what's happening. If it happens, then on Halloween I'm just gonna be yelling at everybody, I called it! Because I did that when Brawlhalla did the Ben 10 crossover. I still can't believe I called that happening. Like, we were talking about it one day when we were talking about Brawlhalla crossovers, and I was like, it wouldn't be impossible to see a Ben 10 crossover. And, sure enough, like, I think within a few months we got a Ben 10 crossover. But that was kind of just me taking a guess based on the fact that they had done a crossover with Cartoon Network already, because we had the Adventure Time crossover. So it didn't seem too out there to get a Ben 10 one. Actually, no, I think at that point they had done the Adventure Time and the Steven Universe crossovers. Which I still haven't bought any of the skins for. I was planning to get Finn and I think Pearl or but I never got around to it, and I don't want to spend any more money on Brawlhalla right now because I have been struggling to play it still with my arms. and my mood lately. I tend to get frustrated with it pretty easily. Like I get frustrated with Sims. Okay. We might be getting Daenerys to level 8 before the end of this stream. Kind of thinking I may not stream on Twitch right now because I am tired, I'm hungry. I don't feel great. Oh yeah, on top of everything else, I'm also still having some stomach issues. After I dealt with the Sims stuff, I still wasn't done telling the story of my weird day. The dogs had gotten kind of excited, and I had gone into family members' room to tell them that the dog stole their napkin when they left the room. And Wednesday and Charlie followed me. I ended up getting Wednesday to leave the room, but Charlie wouldn't leave the room, and that's when I ended up weighing her. Then I had to carry Charlie out of the room because she would not leave. And when I did, Wednesday was jumping on me trying to get her. And I was able to set her down on the couch. And I was trying to keep Wednesday from bothering her, and I ended up slipping because I was wearing socks. And so I fell on the floor. And I was fine for a few minutes on the floor, and then Wednesday started trying to climb on me. Charlie climbed on me trying to lick my face. And I have a big problem with dogs licking my face. So I was trying to push her away and trying to move away from her. And I ended up leaning down where I was close enough to the ground that Wednesday tried to jump over me and ended up stepping on like the middle of my back, my shoulder blade, and the back of my head. So, and my head still hurts from that. And I was already feeling kind of bad. I got really nauseous after I ate dinner. Normally I don't talk about this stuff on stream, but I am almost positive I'm dealing with PMS right now. And I still have food poisoning, which is why I got really nauseous after I ate dinner. And I'm still a little nauseous, and it has been like 6 hours since I ate dinner, or 7 hours since I ate dinner. So that's not good. Then, after that, I was still trying to play Sims. And I think I ended up playing 1 gig as Daenerys, and I was getting close to Fern's next gig when I had to stop because a family member was watching a video beside me and talking to me about the video. other family member is in their room watching TV and a video on their phone. And then I had Sims yelling on the TV, and it was too much noise. I got overwhelmed, and I was like, I need a break. I saved the game, turned off everything, laid on the couch for a minute, said, nope, this isn't gonna work, and I went to my room and listened to music till I felt a little bit better. And that's basically when things went downhill even more. And yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail about stuff, but I didn't really feel like doing much of anything after that for a little while. But I did end up watching some videos on my phone after family. I started watching one before family went to bed, and then I watched a couple after to try to cheer myself up some. And then I fell asleep. I accidentally stayed on that. Okay, she is at level 8. I'm just gonna have her go to the bathroom before we leave. I'm gonna wait till she gets home. Or, I guess I didn't check it here, right? Oh, Fern hasn't gone to his audition yet? Okay. I'll have to check it after she gets home then. Because apparently that's lagging. Because he should have gone to his audition 2 hours ago. But yeah, I fell asleep on the couch for a little bit, and I started the stream, like, probably within 15 minutes of when I woke up. So yeah, not a great day. Not a great week in general, dealing with, like I said, I'm pretty sure PMS and food poisoning at the same time. Those are two very not fun things. But I mean, the food poisoning is a lot better than it was. It's not nearly as bad as it was on like the first day or two, but it's still there. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna eat ice cream for a while. Because the only thing that both of us that got food poisoning ate that the others didn't was the ice cream. Like, literally the only thing we both ate on the same day that nobody else ate that day was the ice cream. I remember like being in someone's stream chat and I was talking about having food poisoning and I was like, ice cream really is my enemy. I like ice cream. Ice cream doesn't like me. Oh, okay, the game glitched the time backwards to where it's only 6 p.m., so that's why Fern hadn't gone to his audition yet, because it's at 7. Pretty sure Fern's gonna get the part. I'm waiting till after his audition though, so I know what day he works. I don't know, but it wouldn't be the first time it's happened. I mean, I guess it could have been something else that we ate on a different day. But the only thing that we could both think of that we ate that no one else did was the ice cream. Well, ice cream and chicken nuggets. I know it started on Friday. And Friday morning I was fine, but Friday afternoon just before dinner I started feeling really bad, like really nauseous and uncomfortable, and I thought it was just because my blood sugar was low and I needed to eat something. And we had meatball subs that day. I ate, and then I felt a little bit better for about half an hour. And we also happened to go to Walmart that day, and by the time we got to Walmart, I felt worse than I did before I ate. And at that point, I still hadn't even realized that it was food poisoning, because I kinda just figured I was nauseous from the bread. I have heard a little bit about that, and I know COVID is because one of the streamers I watched just recently had COVID. I'm still wearing a mask. Family members aren't, but I am. But yeah, we hadn't really. I mean, family member had thought they were either getting sick or had food poisoning for a couple of days at that point. But I had been fine until Friday, and it still didn't really hit me that it was probably food poisoning until Friday night. I think about 11 o'clock because they stayed up later than normal. And I went to bed because I hadn't slept on Friday morning or Thursday night. So I went to bed right after we got home from the store and slept until they woke me up at 11 saying they were going to bed. I needed to watch the dog. I sat on the couch. I had ended up giving in and paying the extra money for the Halloween Oreos. It's the same price as regular Oreos, but I had been refusing to get actual name brand cookies because they're more expensive. But I gave in and got the Halloween ones, and I had sat on the couch. I ate one, started feeling bad again. Figured it'll be fine. Ate a second one, started feeling worse. I was holding a third Oreo to eat when I said, nope, can't do it. Put it back in the container, closed it, ran to the kitchen and threw up in the trash can. Uh, they have the orange cream. Maybe it was the Oreos then, and that may be why I'm not getting better, because I'm still eating them. Family member might have just had a virus or something. Or they had food poisoning from something else. I did notice they do have a slightly different taste that most people probably wouldn't notice. That could be why a family member got better and I didn't. And that may be why I'm extremely nauseous today, because I ate some this afternoon. I mean, I only threw up that first day, and but it's also I just kind of figured if it was food poisoning, it was like just a mild case, because it says it can mostly just be a lot of nausea and stomach pain. Like, I looked it up, and I mean, not everything on the internet's credible, but I looked at several things, and they all kind of say the same thing. It can be as mild as just nausea and stomach pain, and last till like 10 days. But yeah, it's probably the Oreos. And I'm mad now because I paid almost $5 for those. And I have eaten them almost every day. And the days I felt better were the days I didn't eat them. So it's probably the Oreos. Well, as bad as they've made me feel, I guess I'd rather know now when the bag's almost empty so I don't feel like I wasted as much. I mean, yeah. Pretty much. Except at this point, I was just like, I'll get better when I get better. Continues to eat Oreos. That would probably explain why I feel kind of worse right now, too, because I ate just the cream out of a couple of them earlier. And like the next day, so Saturday, I didn't eat any because I remembered like that's what ended up making me throw up that first night. So I think I waited until Sunday or Monday to eat anymore. And that's when I started feeling worse again. Like at this point, it's probably been like 9 or 10 hours since I ate the Oreos and I'm still nauseous. What makes it worse too is a family member even asked me, "Do you think it could be the Oreos that made you sick?" And I was like, "No, I think I threw up too soon after I ate them for it to be them." Well, now we know it was probably the Oreos. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna continue eating them just to see that if it was that. Okay. Lavender has a gig on Monday, and Daenerys has an audition on Monday. Fern has a gig on Monday, not Lavender. I think I said Lavender, and I meant Fern. I think I'm probably gonna end the stream here. Because I am still tired and still nauseous and also hungry at the same time. I might go make some chicken noodle soup. Yeah, I was considering buying some next time I went to the store too. Not gonna do that. If I'm gonna spend that money, I will buy the chips that I know don't make me sick. Because they're the same price. And I won't buy those either because they've gone up. And every time I say stuff like this, it makes me feel so old, but man, I remember when those chips were like 2 something a bag. They're almost $5 a bag now. And honestly, knowing me, it may not even just be... I might just be allergic to something in the dye. Also, I did finally find potato chips without sunflower oil that actually taste very similar to the Lay's potato chips. The others that I've found either taste quite a bit different or are way too greasy. I found some that aren't. But yeah, I mean, it's gotten crazy. Prices of stuff. Some things I understand, like the more expensive coffee drinks or energy drinks, that I get. But and every once in a while I will pay the 2 something or $3 for one of those, even though I usually don't. But most of the time when I look at the price of the chips I like, I won't get them, which is very difficult when you're allergic to all of the cheaper chips because they all use sunflower oil now. All of the Lay's potato chips use sunflower oil, even their kettle chips, and the kettle chips are what I found in another brand that don't use sunflower oil in the recipe. I would, but every time I try to fry anything, I burn myself with grease. I know I can sort of make my own chips. I've done it before. But I probably about 90% of the time I fry something, I burn myself with grease. Or I accidentally undercook stuff. But, so all of the Lay's potato chips use sunflower oil. Then we used to get the Walmart brand because they didn't. Then they switched to sunflower oil. We used to get the HEB brand because they didn't. Then they switched to sunflower oil. We used to get another brand that was more expensive because it's just a more expensive brand. They switched to sunflower oil. It got to the point that the only brands I could find that didn't is they're like obscure brands that barely any places sell. I don't think I've tried those. And yeah, I get that, but it also sucks when you're allergic to it and eating anything with even the tiniest amount of sunflower oil gives you stomach cramps that are so bad you can't handle it. I mean, I even have to be careful with the Walmart cookies that are the sugar cookies with the icing on them because they have a tiny bit of sunflower oil. I have been trying to eat like a little bit less junk food, but and I don't like oatmeal. I've tried different flavored oatmeal. I've tried adding stuff to it. I don't like it. And that's my other problem is I'm so picky about food. And I know my family eats a lot of ground beef and pork chops, and I am not the biggest fan of either. So a lot of times, instead of eating something I really don't want, I will just make frozen chicken nuggets. Usually, if we're having tacos or nachos, I will ask for turkey instead of beef. And actually, my meatball subs were turkey meatballs. Yeah, I don't really like pork chops all that much. Sometimes I'll eat them, and but I like bacon. And I also like turkey bacon. But turkey bacon has gotten so expensive, and the brand that I like is harder to find now, so I don't get it as often. I mostly eat chicken and turkey now. Sometimes also if we have tacos, I'll ask for just chicken instead of the beef or turkey. And I know a lot of times if we have leftover chicken, I will just make stuff with it. Like I've made a couple of times we've had leftover baked chicken and I'll just cut it up and make homemade quesadillas. I don't even like broccoli, but I'm hungry. I should probably end this stream soon. I don't have a lot that I can make right now. So either I'm waiting like 45 minutes for chicken nuggets, or I'm making a can of ravioli or hash browns. And I don't think the hash browns are a good idea because I ate some the other day and they made me very nauseous. So until I stop feeling sick, I don't think hash browns are a good idea. I think I kind of remember that. Okay, yeah. I think I remember that a little more now. It's been a while though. Usually I remember most of the people that stick around for a while. I mean, mine can be like occasionally I'll just remember something someone said like 15 years ago. Or I'll remember conversations that I've had with somebody and they don't even remember them. That happens with Matt a lot. I'll explain an entire conversation we had. I'll like bring up a conversation we had. He doesn't remember it. I'll explain the whole thing. Then the next time I bring it up, he doesn't remember it again, and I still do. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. It's coming up on 7 years soon. I will say, I am so glad that I started streaming when I did. I'm not sure I would have made it through the pandemic had I not been already streaming. Like, I was losing my mind. I'm not a person who leaves the house all that often, but the fact that I couldn't leave the house, I was losing my mind. And like one of the first days, I really wanted ice cream, and we couldn't leave the house, and I couldn't get ice cream. No, there's a universe where I never clicked on that first video of Xylo, and everything's different. Because, I mean, I probably wouldn't have started streaming had I not met Xylo and Mev in Austin. Because not only did I see they were streaming and I wanted to do it, uh, Austin was a big part of talking me into actually streaming when I kept trying to back out of it. Um, he was doing a Deadpool and Spider-Man thing with Mario on a new channel for a while. I know he has plans for content on his main channel, but I don't know if stuff fell through or if he just needed a longer break. And they were still doing D&D, but I think the D&D campaigns they were playing both ended recently. I don't know, I hadn't actually watched the D&D streams in a little while. I was trying to watch them, but after moving and dealing with the whole mold under the floor situation and being stressed and upset that we had to leave in the first place, and then one of the campaigns got sad and I couldn't handle watching it, so I kind of gave up for a little while, and now I haven't seen them go live in a while. Yeah. Sadly, that does kind of happen when you take a break from YouTube. Your views go down. But, like, I get it. Sometimes people just need a break. And, my experience with doing role plays with other people and stuff, it was exhausting. And mine were, like, 90% improv and very, like, barely edited at all. And, that was exhausting, so I can imagine trying to make multiple role plays a week where you are editing hours of footage together and working with 20 plus people. That's probably very exhausting. And then on top of that, streaming too. And people just get burnt out on stuff. Speaking of Minecraft roleplays, if I can ever get people together again, I might start working on that Yu-Gi-Oh! One we were gonna do. I know me and Matt also had plans for an ARC roleplay style thing, and we got permission to do it on the server. By got permission, I mean, I like said on Discord, would anybody care if I did a roleplay thing on the server? And everybody was like, nah, we don't care. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I still want to do Snake Cops, but Snake Cops requires more writing. I don't think we can make Snake Cops work with the kind of improv stuff we were doing with the Supernatural one and the Zoo one. Oh, the Zoo roleplay went off the rails so bad. So did Hunters. Hunters was a mess compared to what I wanted it to be. And I mean that's mostly my fault for kind of just letting everybody do what they wanted. Like I had never envisioned Pizza's character turning from a werewolf to a cyborg in the future. And honestly, I probably should have been like, this was not my plan. Maybe we shouldn't do this, but I didn't. Yeah, it would. I mean, that is the thing, is also the Yu-Gi-Oh! Roleplay would be a bit harder to do right now because of how laggy Link Evolution is when you play online with somebody, and the fact that Matt only has one finished deck on Master Duel. I mean, I could duel myself on Master Duel. But do you guys want to watch videos of me dueling myself? I mean, I feel like I probably struggled enough trying to have my characters interact in Hunters and the Adventure Time roleplays. Nice. I mean, I know based on like the role plays I've done and the whole Sith Academy thing, I know I can kind of act a little bit. It's not great by any means. But like I know I can kind of keep up characters. I will keep that in mind. And I mean, I know for ARC stuff, I can get more people for role plays. It's just, I have to have enough time talking to them on the mic first to get more comfortable with them before I try to do a role play with them. because I do still struggle around new people, even in just a voice chat or even in just stream chats. I have noticed I recently started watching a couple of streamers, and it took a while to get even a little bit comfortable in their chats, even though the the people are all pretty nice. I feel like I'd do the same. Like, we haven't really done any Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but I feel like my characters would be a little over the top. I literally had plans when we were originally talking about doing the Yu-Gi-Oh roleplay. I like had plans for a character that runs around screaming at people, "Duel me and my dragons." I also had kind of thought about, since we had agreed that, like, if we're gonna commit to the Yu-Gi-Oh roleplay, we're each gonna be playing different characters each time. So I had kind of decided, okay, maybe I'll bring some of my other characters into it. Like, maybe Josh the Stormtrooper duels somebody. I, I don't know if you guys want to see that duel. I mean, if we are gonna do this roleplay, and for some reason I do have to duel myself, I could have, like, one main character set up that duels my other characters. I do have Master Duel on 2 accounts, so I can duel myself if my internet's working. It's just I have to keep up switching between characters, and I'm not quite sure I'm ready to do that without some more practice. Yeah, I've only seen a handful of episodes of GX, and I don't remember most of it. I think I mainly remember a tiny bit of, like, the first episode. No, I have seen part of an episode of another one. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember my cousins were watching it, and I ended up watching part of it, but I don't even remember which one it was. So I definitely don't remember what happened. I don't even know that I have seen the end of Duel Monsters. And as of right now, I don't think any of the streaming services that I have the full series. Like, the main stuff I remember from it is, like, the Duelist Kingdom and Battle City stuff. After that, I remember a little bit, but not a lot of it. I think I might be able to get that on my smart TV. It's also just right now the fact that our internet is the way it is. I haven't been watching a lot of stuff. I'm even still behind on Futurama. Because I didn't want to use all of the internet for that and not be able to stream again. Okay, yeah. I know if I want to use stuff like that in here, I have to have it on the PlayStation because this TV is not a smart TV. This is actually a really old TV. But the TV still works. It's old, but it still works. So we deal with it. It's also... I couldn't get my PS3 to work on the smart TV. So I think this is currently the only TV we have that I could use my PS3 or my Wii for. Or the PS2. We do still have 2 PS2s somewhere in this house. Right now I'm even trying to think of like how many game systems we have. I know we have 2 PS2s. I think we have like 4 PS3s and 4 or 5 PS4s. Then I have a Wii, an Xbox 360, a Switch. I still had my original PlayStation a few years ago, but I think I ended up giving it to my cousin, and I don't know if he still has it. It's also the same cousin that got my original DS. And the other Xbox 360 I had because of an incident where he came over on Christmas asking to borrow the Xbox. And technically my uncle had given me the Xbox because my PS4 was my PS3 was having issues back then. I had the older PS3 that was the backwards compatible one, and it kept breaking. And this was when we were moving, so my uncle had sent his Xbox in case my PS3 quit working and I didn't have anything to play. So he sent his Xbox with me. On Christmas Day, my cousin comes over asking to borrow the Xbox. I said he would have to ask my uncle because I saw it as it was technically still his. He gets my uncle to agree, and his reasoning was he said his mom got some Disney game that she wanted to play. When I asked her about it, she said she didn't get any game, and she wasn't sure what he was talking about. But he ends up getting the Xbox, and I have never seen that Xbox again. I don't know what happened to it. They were just supposed to borrow it for a few days. It has been Probably 10 years. Oh, I don't have to do that. All I have to do is think about when Pokemon came out. Just keep in mind, I have been a Pokemon fan since before I was old enough to remember I was a Pokemon fan. Like, I literally, there are pictures of me opening Pokemon toys as a Christmas gift, and I don't remember those. I still remember when I got my first PS2, though. I think it was a Christmas gift. Because the original PlayStation wasn't actually mine, I just used it and I had games for it. Then it ended up being mine when family members moved on to the PS2 and then later the PS3 at that point. I get it all the time. Like, I will literally find myself sometimes when I'm at the store. I'll look at the ramen packets that I buy and I'm like, I remember when these were 10 cents. Or I'll look at the Kool-Aid packets and be like, I remember when these were 10 cents too. And then I'm like, oh man, I'm old. Yeah. I mean, usually it was like when it was on sale, they would do 10 for $1. At least some of the stores near me did that when I was a kid, though. But the last time I seen that happen was probably almost 20 years ago. I was a weird kid that worried about money and looked at prices of things. And also when my cousin stayed over, we had ramen for lunch almost every day, so yeah. We kind of knew how much it was. And we bought a lot of it. I don't even remember like what age I started looking at the prices of things, and probably part of it was I was given an allowance every week. It originally started at like $5 when I was really young and would go up, but I was allowed to either spend the money on whatever I wanted or save it, whatever. But as long as I could pay for my stuff, so that's probably how I ended up checking prices on stuff to make sure I could afford it. And also, saving that money is how I bought myself a pony when I was a kid. And then later a trampoline. Although that was when it started getting more than like $5 a week. But yeah, I bought myself a pony at a horse auction as a kid. I had the pony for years, and I don't remember how old he was when we got him. He ended up having an incident where he got his stomach impaled on a stick, but our vet, came out and treated him and he was fine, but he ended up passing away, I think 2 days after my brother did. And I don't remember how old I was when I got him, but I was young enough that I ended up naming him Dusty because he shook off dust and I thought it was funny. That would be my biological grandfather that I never met. I don't know why he chose to never come around any of us. But he did. Oh no, our co-star died. Oh, that's why their relationship keeps falling apart. They have bad compatibility. I mean, maybe. I mean, I know he was, like, in and out of trouble a lot. And, I don't know if, like, he didn't want to meet his grandkids because of that, or if he just didn't want to meet us in general. I'm not sure. Oh, it means that it's, like, harder for them to build relationships with each other. Which I didn't know was the case, and now I kind of want to try to change some of their stuff so that they don't have bad compatibility anymore. The romance bar is all the way down again. It's okay. The packs come out in about 9.5 hours now. Then they can have their kids, and if Fern wants to, he can leave. Or I fix their bad compatibility, and maybe their romance bar won't go down in a day and a half. Wasn't I supposed to end this stream, like, an hour ago? But yeah, I do think I am going to end the stream here. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to anyone who subscribed. Hopefully I will see you guys later for another stream. I'm not going to stream on Twitch right now because when the packs come out, I will probably do a building stream on Twitch where I build the nurseries. I'm going to build a nursery here with bassinets in it because they're going to have their first kid here, and then at their new house I'm going to build the nursery with cribs. So basically I'll be building at least 2 nurseries, maybe 3, because I kind of think once I move them out, I want Lavender to have more kids. But yeah, for now, I am going to end the stream, like I said. So, good night, everybody. Hopefully, I will be back in, I don't know, like 10 hours to stream. We'll see. It depends on how long it takes for the packs to actually release on PlayStation, whether I fall asleep, when I get them downloaded. There's a lot of stuff. Alright. Good night, everybody.